Hello everyone. Now it's time to know and understand different types of testing high voltages that can be generated in high voltage labs. The first type is alternating current high voltage at power frequency. The abbreviation of this type is high voltage AC at power frequency. This is the abbreviation of this type of voltage. What is this type? It's the most common voltage since most of electrical networks use it for generation, transmission, and distribution, as it's alternating current, AC current, which is widely used in our life, and it's also at power frequency, such as 50 or 60 hertz. So this type of voltage is widely used in research work for testing electrical insulation systems in high voltage testing labs. The power frequency of this waveform may be 50 Hz or 60 Hz according to your locality or your country. This is the waveform of this high voltage AC. As we see, this is AC or alternating current waveform, and the frequency of this waveform is 50 or 60 Hz, but the voltage is high voltage. So we need to generate this type of voltage in the lab. The second type of voltage is alternating current, high voltage, but at high frequency. Its abbreviation is high voltage AC at high frequency. This type of voltage is produced in the power system due to internal causes like switching actions or load changes. Transient load changes maybe result in a high voltage waveform at high frequency, or external causes like lightning strokes. Any high voltage equipment in power system may be subjected to lightning strokes or switching actions. If this happens, the insulator will be subjected to this type of voltage, alternating current, high voltage at high frequency. And this is the waveform of this voltage. The frequency here is high, and the peak voltage may be as 2000 kilovolt. This is really a big and high voltage. So we need to produce this type of voltage in high voltage labs to test the insulator under this type of voltage. The third type is direct current high voltage, which is high voltage DC. This is an important type of voltage, as energy transmission using high voltage DC has many advantages over high voltage AC, mainly for interconnection between two countries with different frequencies. So it's very important for us to generate this type of high voltage in high voltage testing labs. The last type is impulse high voltage. Impulse high voltage is produced in electric power system when transmission is subjected to lightning strokes or surges. The standard waveform for impulse high voltage testing is like that. This is the standard waveform of impulse high voltage. As we see, the voltage first increases in very small time, and then the voltage falls like that. This voltage is the peak voltage, and we have time t1 and time t2. What are these parameters? Vb, it's the peak voltage of the waveform or the impulse voltage waveform, and t1, it's called rise time. It is the time at which the voltage reaches the peak value, and this time is very small, and it is in range of microseconds. T2 is tail time. It's the time at which the voltage falls to 1/2 of the peak value. When the voltage falls to V peak over 2, which is 1/2 of the peak value, the time is T2. T1 and T2 and peak voltage VB are important parameters that define the impulse high voltage. So we have 4 types of testing high voltages. In the next lectures, we will understand how to generate each type of these high voltages. Thank you.